Again, I think getting away for his health and respect that, and I really enjoyed my time, my short time with him, and wish him the best.
How's it changed the calculus of secondary?
I'm
How's
sorry.
it changed kind of the overview of how you see the depth around the secondary, the flexibility?
Yeah, I thought we had a really good game in the secondary here this last game against Green Bay. Obviously, I thought Adoree played really well. And I think that we were able to watch practice this week. Thought Michael Carter did an excellent job this week, um, having a lot of confidence, starting to get confidence and build confidence in him. Was really excited about Jacorian before he got injured. Really happy to have him back. And then, Keely's given us really good reps. And and then obviously you have Q and Coop back there as well. Feel really good about that depth of that, especially with the addition of Michael and then getting JB back.
At the time of the trade, what was your sense of the injury for Jaire?
I'm sorry.
At the time of the trade, what was your understanding of Jaire's injury?
We were just really excited to get him in here, again, just know that he's stepping away for health reasons, and again, like I said, just wish him the best.
A few days later, and after talking to Jalen and AJ, do you still like the play there on the kill shot?
Yeah, I do. Obviously, the player. What are you asking? Just everything about it, the decision
Well, was it your decision?
to go for it on fourth down. Yeah.
No, to throw that pass.
Yeah. When anytime you go into
They had an audible there.
every time you go into a game, the plays that we're running on fourth down. Obviously, the plays that are being run the whole time, but specifically fourth down, because when you go into that, and a fourth down decision works, that's great. It continues drives. In that case, it would have ended the game. If it doesn't work, you understand as the head coach, it's all going to be on you. So obviously you're very in tune with everything that goes on and is into that play. So knew exactly what play we were calling, everything that went into it, and obviously on that particular one, it didn't work.
So
It
when
was
the,
already
cam-
been
so when
a
the
couple-
cameras caught you saying why, it wasn't a reference to that play.
Yeah, if I have to start explaining everything that the cameras catch me saying in these particular moments, we can't open that can of worms of anything. And that if it was perfectly timed with was I saying that? Was it perfectly timed with that and all those different things? I'd have to be talking a lot. So, and I could be saying why for a lot of different reasons. And so, again, knew the play, have confidence in our players in those moments to make those plays. That's why you don't go for it unless you have that confidence in those guys. And I think that, again, in these moments, whether it's passing it and going for it on fourth down and 6 in that particular moment, whether it's a 4-minute drill where you decide to run it or pass it in certain situations, right? This is all part of your process of things that you decide well before the game is played, because it's really hard to make those decisions split second if you haven't went through these processes in your head. And so again, I will focus always on the process. Did I like the process that led me to that? Because in this game, I've said this to our guys a lot. You're not batting 100% on anything. You're never throwing a no-hitter in this game, and meaning that you can't always just look at just the result, right? Obviously, I wanted the result to be different in that particular moment. It wasn't. But we've been very aggressive in 4-minute in the past, whether that's passing, whether that's going for it on fourth down. We've been very aggressive going for it on fourth down. That is, countless amount of times has turned into, 3 points into 7, or no points into 3, or no points into 7 if you continue that drive. And so, again, you can't get wrapped up in just the result. You think about it, you look at it, but you got to trust your process in those moments. And I'm fully aware that when the result doesn't go that way, that the criticism and the scrutiny will be solely on me, and that's my job as the head coach.
Can you square this up, though? Because there's been a couple players who have indicated that that it was a Jalen and AJ communication that led to that?
I knew exactly what the play was that we were calling, and that was run in that moment.
So they didn't check?
I knew exactly what the play was in that moment, what we called, and what was
I guess
and
the
what did
greater
happen.
issue is why in the first 59 minutes was AJ never targeted beyond.
Were we in a debate, or is that what? Or
Well, I think that's a fair question to ask.
what's the question?
But why wasn't AJ targeted beyond the first 2 drives, and it took until that moment for you guys to throw to him deep?
Yeah, again, games. If you look at the game and how the game went, there's a lot of plays in that game that are going to him that, for different reasons, don't. For instance, Smitty's touchdown. That play is going to AJ. They took it away, and he threw it over the top. You can't look at stats and just say, this is what's happening. You can't paint the picture that way. I know that's sometimes is all the information that you guys may have, but you can't look at it that way and just say, here's how the game is playing out. Like, there are reasons and different things. A.J. Brown is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, so of course we're trying to get him involved in the game every single time. Sometimes it goes like it did in the Rams game or the Vikings game, and sometimes it goes like it did in this last game.
Is AJ physically?
It seems like you get off to a good start lately. You get that first drive, it's moving, and then it sort of bogs down. How can you combat that, or what can you do to make sure?
Yeah, it's just about being consistent. There's been games we've been consistent throughout the game. There's been games, coaching and playing. There's been games that we've sputtered at times. Obviously, I think it's always just about continuing to excel and try to get better. We would have the same mindset if we scored 40 in that game of coming back to work and trying to get better as if we had scored 10. Same thing on defense. We'd have the same mindset whether we gave up 7 or 37 to come back and try to get better from it. So that's all we're trying to do is be more consistent with our detail, with everything, and in attempts to put it all together like we have in the last couple games.
This is the third time, though, after a victory where AJ, either on social media or in this case, a live stream, has sort of voiced his displeasure. Is that at all becoming a distraction?
No, I don't think so. Again, you can only go from your interactions with everybody and the way they go about their work on a daily basis that you guys aren't able to see. But no, it's business as usual.
Coach, on a short week, how are you preparing for the Lions on Sunday?
Yeah, same way we would. Obviously, if we had the full boat. Obviously, with the bye week that we had, we got to get a little bit ahead on that. So bye week, obviously, you do all your self-scout, but you also do any short week that you might be coming up and in preparation for Green Bay. So we were able to get a little bit of that done there. Obviously, when we get back at, late on a Monday, you're a day behind, but you're hoping that everything that you did prior to that gets you caught up. Now, the little bit different way the schedule goes is, maybe at this particular time we'd have first, second, and third down done. Well, now you have first and second down done, and everything kicks back a little bit deeper into the week to do that. But this is a really good team that we're about to play. Really well coached, really good players, physical, tough team. I got a lot of respect for this football team that's been doing it at a very high level for now the past 3 years now. So. We expect their best, and we know this is a really good team.
Nick, is AJ physically the same player he was in previous seasons? And I understand that maybe you can't look at the stats in one game, but we're pretty decent sample size here. His production hasn't been up to that level. Why is that?
Yeah, I think he's moving around really well, and getting out of breaks well. Still, physical, strong, quick. I still see all the same physical attributes.
Understanding that your approach on offense is limiting the turnovers, which is helping you guys win. Is it a sustainable approach from the standpoint of all the star players that you have on offense?
I don't know.
Who are all going to obviously going to want to be featured parts. Can you sustain that over a long period of time?
Well, we've been doing a good job of taking care of it for the last 2 years, and it's been pretty sustainable so far. We just got to continue that. Like I've said to you guys, you want to be able to be explosive too, but our first and foremost is always win that turnover battle. We know that's the key for us on how we take care of the football, and that goes into every element that we have, offensively, defensively, coaching. We sure spend a lot of time on it. So we've had some success here the last 2 years playing this way, and we'll continue to try to get better and work to get better. But we're definitely not gonna sway from the turnover battle.
Nick, you have a lot of new pieces, obviously, on defense. On Monday night, guys who hadn't played together, new combinations, guys who've been out for a while. How do you explain, I guess, the togetherness that they played with when it was just a lot of new pieces? And new
Good week of preparation and a good job by our coaches, catching the guys up. I thought you saw a really good group rush by the guys, and I know Jalen obviously got a lot of pressure, and his stats looked the way they were, and he was really good, but it was such a good group effort, right? You saw Jalen Carter getting great rushes and push back in the run game. You saw, Nolan have hits on the quarterback. You saw Morrow calling things out. So it was just a great week of preparation. But one of the clips that I liked the best from the game is when Jalen Phillips puts pressure on the quarterback, kind of knocks the guy back into the quarterback, and then Jalix gets the sack out of it, and how much joy Jalen Phillips had for Jalix to get that sack. I think that my short time with Jalen Phillips has been really positive so far, just with obviously his play, but just the way he goes about his business, and just pumped to have him. And it was good to just see those guys gel that way, and we got to continue to build on that because we know that our up front offensively and defensively is what always leads the way here.
When you say it was kind of business as usual with AJ, I mean, his latest comments, made it seem like it's not business as usual. Like, how do you kind of reconcile that with him?
Yeah, guys, I'm close to being done answering these questions with this. Like, he's working hard, and he is a big part of this game plan, and it'll be a big part of the game plan going forward. And he's working like crazy when he's here, and I'm excited to have him.
And like you said, what's your evaluation of how Kevin has operated the offense?
Yeah, I think he's done a good job of. Obviously we're 7-2 right now. Every game doesn't look exactly the same. Every production is not going to look exactly the same. But he's doing a good job of calling the game, putting the plan together, organizing. There's a lot more into it than just calling the game, obviously. Organizing everything, teaching the players the game plan, getting the offensive coaches on the same game plan. And so I think he's done a good job of leading this group. And obviously the goal is to win every game. We're 7-2 right now. We want to get better, and we'll continue to work on that.
All right, thanks.